Hi, my name is Esther Van Dyken, and my research paper this year is about understanding consumer preferences and perceptions in Gen Z consumers revolving around food delivery and takeout packaging in a post-COVID lens. In addition to this is investigating its implications on sustainability in the food packaging industry. During this summer at my work, we had a food truck venue set up just outside of our work in our parking lot. Although this is not the most glamorous job, I was responsible for taking out the garbages at the end of the day. Every single day I found myself throwing out bags upon bags, just enormous amounts of garbage, which was all attributed to food delivery packaging. This was something that really frustrated me this summer, and I wanted to dive deeper into understanding perceptions and consumer perceptions around COVID-19 and how they could maybe be impacting the sustainability and consumer disposal. Although takeout packaging has been the saving grace for a lot of restaurants, it's also contributed to a lot of single-use plastic waste and styrofoam waste. I conducted research based off of literature and other scholarly papers. From this, I discovered that hygiene and safety had become the #1 priority in food delivery and takeout packaging in 2020, and that sustainability, which was previously the most important factor, was temporarily taking a side seat. In order to get an understanding of whether or not consumer perceptions and preferences had indeed changed because of the pandemic, I surveyed Gen Z participants to discover their preferences. I hypothesized that hygiene and safety would become the #1 priority for many consumers. However, after conducting my study, I found that actually convenience ended up being the #1 priority for a lot of the respondents. 45% of the respondents indicated that convenience was most important to them, while the remaining 55% of respondents were equally divided between sustainability and hygiene. There was no heightened preference between either factor. A later question was asked to study the impacts of sustainable food packaging on consumer buyer behavior. The question asked whether or not consumers would be more inclined to eat somewhere else if they knew that the food packaging was sustainable. 74% of the respondents indicated that they would be more inclined to eat somewhere else if they knew they offered sustainable packaging. This is interesting because packaging does not directly affect consumer behavior. If the option for sustainable packaging is available, it impacts the consumer buyer behavior so long as it still ensures a convenient eating experience. In order for both the food and food packaging industries to thrive in the future, they need to both appeal to consumer preferences and buying behaviors. While maintaining the health and safety of food, packaging must also adhere to consumer preferences and of sustainability and convenience. If companies do not act now, they can see this trend reflected in their sales as more consumers will start to drift towards companies that offer sustainable packaging.